Welcome to A New Generation. I'm Steve Miller. On today's program, we're going to discuss two interesting topics. First, we're going to talk with Debbie Anderson and Malvin Frazier from the Pontiac Youth Center and discuss some of the things they're trying to do at that center to help inner city youth. Then in the second portion of this program, we're going to talk to Eric Hackley and talk about some of the things he's doing in the community to try to create what I call an awareness of heritage. So it should be an informative half hour, and we would invite you to stay tuned. To start off this program, though, with me again is Debbie Anderson, Director of the Pontiac Youth Center, and Malvin Frazier, the past director and one of the original founders of the Pontiac Youth Center. And we want to find out what they've been doing, why the center was developed, and some of the things going on down there. I want to thank both of you for taking time out to come on and do the program. Before we actually start talking about the center, though, why don't you each just give us a little background into yourself? And Debbie, start on.
My name is Debbie Anderson, and I used to work at North American Van Line for 8 years before I started to be the director at the Pontiac Youth Center. I have a husband and one son, and I've been living here for many years.
Many years, okay, good. Ma'am?
I'm Malvin Frazier, and I have a wife and 2 children. I have 3 foster children. I'm Associate Coordinator for Coalition for Youth Services, and I've been in Fort Wayne for the past 20 years.
Past 20 years, okay. So both of you know the community and definitely know what the community is about. You've been here all that time. That's good. That to me, that's important. That you know, people doing this kind of thing are people that have been here and know what's going on. Now, let me just start off with you, talking about the center. Like I said, I know you were one of the co-founders. Tell us how the Youth Center got started.
Well, first of all, my involvement with the coalition was to the degree of the gang-like behavior in 1985, late 84 and early 1985. And as we developed some diffusing situations with kids that were involved in negative behavior in the street, we felt like we were actually just band-aiding a situation to where there wasn't really an awful lot in the community available. So as a process of going through strategy, meeting with community leaders and people that was concerned about Central City, we felt like if we could develop a facility in the Central City that would be wholesome environment, one that would be an ownership of youngsters, and within the community would bring about a change of behavior. So basically we began to talk and meet and strategize, and we come up with the center.
Okay. Why did we choose, or why did you choose that particular site, Pontiac Street site?
Well, and again, back 1984, 85, 86, and early 86, that was where the action was. That was where kids was congregated in the street and doing a lot of different kinds of negative things. So we felt like if we located right there, primarily where the action was, we would get results, and we see we've done some of that.
Right at the beginning, what kind of reaction did you get from the kids?
Well, very positive all along. One of the reasons for that was we had worked with the kids for 1.5 years with the negative behavior, the gang-like fighting, those kinds of things. Most of the kids could identify with us and what we were trying to do and bring about within the community. So it's been positive from day one, really.
Okay. All right, Debbie, you've been the director since the beginning of the year?
January.
January, okay. Let's talk about your role as director. What do you do as the director of the center?
I plan activities from Monday through Saturday, and I go to a lot of board meetings, and I really entertain the kids.
Entertain the kids. It takes, I mean, it takes some special effort to be able to do this kind of a thing. I mean, to take in kids and work with them. What's your drive? What gives you that ability, you think, to do this kind of job?
Just going there every day, and then you find out, because right now we don't have a pool table because of our sticks, they're broken. And the kids come in, and they come in droves. We have about 35 to 40 kids every day, and just at 4 o'clock when they get off the bus and they come straight to the center. That's a drive.
Okay. You just so it's just the fact that
We're doing something positive for the kids.
Yeah, you need it, and so you decided to take that on. We talk about the kids. You say you got like 35. Okay, well, you say 35 or 40 come in every day.
On a regular basis.
On a regular basis. Okay, that's what I say. Do you keep track of kids? I mean, do they sign up or anything like that so that you know who's coming in and out or whatever?
We do have a form that they have to fill out, the parents, so we have exactly know where do they live at and have some kind of their phone number, addresses if they don't have phones. And we know what school they go to. So yes, they do have to fill out a form.
Okay. How do you, I don't say recruit kids, but do you go out and solicit? In other words, are you involved with the schools? You go out and say, hey, we've got this center we want kids to come to? Or is it mostly word of mouth by the kids? Or how do the kids find out about the youth center?
Word of mouth.
That's basically it. Okay, so you don't work through the schools or anything like that?
My work is through Fort Wayne Community Schools, probation department, the court system, the whole gamut. And of course, but most of our kids, as Debbie is already referred to, it's word of mouth. And if there's a problem with one of our kids within the school, they call us and we respond to that. So we work with the schools on a level like that. But primarily my work outside of the center focuses within the Fort Wayne Community Schools and East Allen County Schools as well.
Okay. What age group are we talking about?
8 through 18.
8 through 18. And where are the majority of the kids? Where do they lie in that age range? Are most of them
8 through 16.
8 through 6. So you don't have many of the older ones coming in.
Just like when we have fundraisers, the older ones come in, or when we go on camping trips, when we need chaperones, like we go out on different outings, we can call on them and they come in through that.
Okay. Now let's talk a little bit about that too. Some of the activities. In other words, we got some kids watching this right now, and maybe they've heard about the center, maybe they haven't, or whatever. What kind of things can do you guys plan for them and have them do besides just being able to come in every day and just be there? What other kind of things do you do?
Well, this summer we're going to have some computer classes and typing classes and some sewing classes, and we're going to start that up. And then every Tuesday we have crafts, arts and crafts, and then Friday night we have role model speakers come in to speak to the kids.
Okay. How do they react to that?
They come and they sit around and they ask questions.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. I guess that's another question too. How is the community helping you out? And do you get a lot of help from the community in wanting to help you with that? Mel is smiling there. There must be something good here.
One of the most discouraging situations we find ourselves in, the community is, I guess, two phases. One, the community, yes, they do support us. In terms of, they know that we're there. They realize what we're doing. They support us to that degree. In terms of volunteer, in terms of monetary, we would have to say they just really don't get involved to that degree. But we think most of that is education. We're just not motivated to do those kinds of things. But I think the longer Debbie, her staff, they're there, and the kids are there, I think the community will come on. But it's been a hard nut to crack.
Right. The one thing that I hope and that I've seen in the past is that if you guys were to fold up tomorrow and not be there, you'd have a lot of people crying.
Sure. Yeah.
Why did they quit? Why did they go? Sure. And they could be doing some things today.
No question.
To help you guys.
One of the big needs, I guess, that we see, and personally, I guess for myself that I see, is black positive role models. That is, it's just imperative that black males get involved in a positive way with the center and other centers programs within the central city. It's just imperative that they do that.
Right. And I know there are some other groups and things doing together. Hopefully, a coalition of people coming together, we can kind of get some of those positive things done. You see the kids every day. What do you hear from them? What are they saying the problems are out there? Are the problems drugs? Are the problems gangs? Are the problems teenage pregnancy? What do the kids say the problems are? What do they need?
Attention. Because a lot of adults, they don't give them as much attention as they need. Like, they might go to school and they get the teacher attention, and they come home, they might get their mother or their father attention. But when you come to the center and they see that it might be only 2 or 3 volunteers that are adults, they really need that.
Okay.
Some more adults coming in to spend more time with them.
Let me just add to that also. The number one problem as we see it now, probably on the focus within the Central City, is drugs, but a combination of all the three that you've mentioned are basically the needs of inner city disadvantaged at-risk children. But right now it would probably be drugs, and of course we've worked with children at age 8 that's done primos, and that's cocaine and marijuana mixed together, so it's just a tremendous problem. So as Debbie is saying, you see all those attitudes come into one building. You have to be able to relate, you have to be able to deal with it, refer them to counsel or whatever it would take when they would be, under your auspices.
Right. Do you do that kind of education? Do you do programs, drug education and those kind of things?
We have speakers coming in.
Okay, and they talk to the kids and that kind of thing. To touch on something too, I know you mentioned, you say, well, you entertain, but you guys are not babysitters. You definitely are not babysitters, and you're there to I guess enhance the kids. I guess it kind of goes back to the community thing, but what kind of, I guess, effort do you get from parents? Are parents showing you any kind of effort too? I mean, are they just saying, well, go to the center and come see me when it's over with or whatever?
I think when we started out, Steve, we started out to develop a center that would entertain and promote children. Now I think our focus has got to be, and Debbie's already promoted some programs that relates to parents. But of course you've got to try and realize that the parents of the children that we see, they need the same education as the children. So actually you're at square one when you talk about parents being involved, because they've never been involved before. They've never been asked to be involved before. So Debbie's doing some neat things now with parents that's important that she continues to do, and then you reach parents that way. It's a selling, marketing kind of thing that you've got to do.
Okay, well, that's good. Well, you guys, like I said, we've heard a lot of good things about the center, and I know both of you have worked real hard on it, and we want to encourage you to continue and hope that the community and the parents and everybody else joins you. I want to thank both of you for taking time out to come on and do this, and again, continued success.
Thank you.
We'll be back right after